to be your first impression.
What else?
First impression, what you create on the interviewers. Okay, the way you enter into the room, the way you interact with them, everything matters, right? So let us start. You can see my screen right now.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, so let us start.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, this kind of training I always take for the students who are going to attend the interview before final year, and who are going for the off-campus drive also. For them, I provide this kind of training. So it is not 1 day training or 2 days training. It will be approximately, it will be taking some, normally I have designed it in 3 months, but for you, I'm not sure when the interview is going to happen. So I will try to cover up everything in 10 days time. Okay, 10 days or 2 weeks time, we will try to cover up. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let us start. Let us start. The first, as you see that, what I'm telling, that there are 2-3 important factors which we need to keep in our mind is knowledge, your resume, and your selling ability. It means what knowledge you have to be confident about it. Okay, no matter what, whatever they are asking, you have to be very transparent. And I will explain that to you. What does this mean? So as you see that, knowledge, resume, and selling ability, these kind of, this, whatever you are seeing right now, this is my own preparation, because I have been interviewing people for the last 10 years. And based on that, I have designed this total slide, how, it should be, and what industry wants from the freshers. That is most important part. What happens is, your interview is scheduled, freshers interview is scheduled, and they will just go over 5-10 questions from the internet, and they will start appearing into the interviews. So that is why the main reason of failure is they just mug up 10-15 questions. And if you are technically really sound, that also doesn't confirm that you will crack the interview. Why? Because in interview, there are chances when interviewer will come and he will not even ask you single technical question. There are chances. So it depends how your first 2-3 minutes, you spend with your interviewer, what kind of impression you create on the interviewer. So first point, let us talk about, these 3 points: knowledge, resume, and selling ability. So first is knowledge. So this part I'm talking about, basic knowledge and logic. See, what is that? See, whatever you are reading now, like, you have database, you have C programming, whatever language you are learning, basics of Python, whatever you are learning, basics should be very clear. Okay, if somebody is asking about you the file system, you should be clear about file system, or else you can say that, I'm not very sure about the file system. And you should have transparency to accept that, okay, this portion, please don't ask me question. You can ask me from this, I will be confident to answer. Something like this, like you have operating system, you have database management system, you have some structured programming language, you have object-oriented programming language. So basics of everything should be clear. Okay. Interviewer will definitely not go in all the areas. What he will do is, he will ask you which area you are comfortable in, which programming language you are comfortable in. If you say Python, so he will start asking questions from Python. If you say C, he will ask questions from C. And if you say, yeah, I am comfortable in this, so he will, few languages, if you mention, then he will go ahead and ask about, the concepts. So the area you give, 80% chances are there. Area you give, they will start asking questions from there. Okay. And that basic knowledge should be very clean. If I'm asking about you, okay, if you say that I know Python. So what is variable? So you should be able to explain what is variable. If I ask what
Okay,
is
sir.
this syntax, so you should be able to explain that syntax. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
and you should be confident while explaining to your interviewer. You should not blabber, like your wording should not be half-hearted. It should be very clear. And somewhere, say for example, while explaining, you got stuck. Okay, you got stuck, or you get lost somewhere. Okay, you are not able to proceed. So that time, just give a pause for a second or two. Okay, 2-second pause,
Okay,
and
sir.
tell them that please give me 2 seconds. I will start explaining again. So there is no harm in saying anything like this. Okay, so basic
Okay, sir.
knowledge, the first part, I think it is clear to you that your basic knowledge about, say for fundamentals, I'm talking about database management system. So what is database management system? You should be able to explain. You have read
Yeah.
object oriented programming language, right? What is object oriented programming language? Okay, what is a structured programming language? Okay, I'm asking what is memory operating system? What is, so all these kind of small concepts. What is data structure? This kind of things, your basic direct questions, right? Where people can form.
Yeah.
If I don't know anything about those, I forgot. Say for I long time I have been working only in industry. I have no touch into the what are the concepts in object oriented system, because I don't work in object oriented language in my industry. I work on something else.
Oh,
So I may not know object oriented programming language. So, but your expertise in object oriented or Python, which I may not know, your interviewer may not know. Okay. So
okay, sir.
in that case, your interviewer may not ask questions from those areas, right? If I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
Python, I may not be asking questions from Python, right? So in that case, they will be asking general question. Okay, tell me about your structured language. Tell me about normal concept of functions. Tell me about normal, concept about, assigning a value to any integer. Like these kind of questions, which is common for all programming language. These kind of questions. So these are direct questions. It should be clear and you should be able to explain. So this was the first part. So now you got
Yes,
the
sir.
idea. You got the idea. Any question?
Yeah. No, sir. No, sir. I got, sir.
Okay. Now, next, I am coming to the part resume and your communication. So your resume should be exactly the way you are looking physically. Okay. The way, if I talk to you, what perception I will have, your resume should give the same perception to anybody. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You got the meaning? It means, what I mean to say is, your resume should match your appearance. Say for example, somebody is writing in resume, I have done this many projects, this one I have done, that one I have done, lots of things. And when he comes for the interview, he is not able to explain even a single project. What does it mean? It did not match with his resume. His knowledge, his appearance should match with his resume. You have put your picture in your resume, right?
Yes, sir.
With formal dress and everything. So when people will have some kind of perception, okay, when Surya comes, he will look like this. So you have to maintain that way, because whenever we put pictures or something into your biodata or CV, that time we dress up well, we comb well, hairstyle well, we shave, everything we do properly, right? And then we take pictures. So when you
Yes,
go to
sir.
the interview, when you go for any discussion, that time also you should have, in the same way what you have given into your curriculum, okay, in your CV, in your resume. So people will have that
Okay.
perception, and first instance, if I see, okay, oh, this is the one, Surya will appear like this, and when you come, okay, he is Surya. Okay, this is this is good. Whatever the first impression will be that, whatever he has given in resume, it is almost same. Let me talk to him. Okay, whatever I saw him in picture, he appears the same. Okay, let me talk to him. Whatever he has written in resume, whether it resembles with his knowledge or not. That is what people will see. And other stuff, other thing. Nowadays, your social media accounts are also being visited. Okay, when you go for any interview, interviewer will look at your social media accounts first. That you will not be knowing that interviewer has already done lots of research on your social media profiles, whether it is Facebook, whether LinkedIn or whatever, wherever you have. They will go ahead and search in Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. At least 4 places they will go ahead and search your name. Okay, this is what it is. If, like you said, that your hobby is listening to music, right? And in your Facebook profile, if you have mentioned something else, then there will be a contradiction. They will, if the smart interviewer will definitely ask you that, you are telling here listening to music is your hobby, but you have mentioned in your Facebook profile like something else. So why this discrepancy? So this kind of questions you need to be ready, okay? Because you make sure that your social media profiles are also up to date and to the point. There are no much additional information which you don't want to give it to the society. Additional information like if it is something is good, that is very good to have into your social media. But sometimes people start exchanging words or comments over some topic which is not even relevant to them. Like, say for example, if some election is going to happen and you are supporting one party and other party people are doing some comment, so you go ahead and ask about there's some other comment on top of it. So this kind of comment people should refrain from writing into the social media account. If you are going to build your career somewhere in corporates, MNC, then you should be refraining from all these activities for some point of time. Okay, so so I take interview when I go for conducting any interview. I am the interviewer. I will go ahead and look at all these details one day before at least. Okay.
Yeah.
So now the third point, little research about IT industry and capabilities. So little research about IT industry. You have to say, for example, you are going to attend Wipro, interview, the business discussion, right? In Wipro.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So you must go through the website where they are writing about Wipro company. You go through that company, whether this company is making profit in this quarter or not, and what is the best part of the company, what is attracting you there, why you want to be a part of Wipro. These kind of questions they may ask. So if you have done some research on Wipro company, then you, while answering any question, you can include those information into your answer, right? So if they're asking, hey, why you want to be the part of Wipro team, then you can say that, sir, I really wanted to be part of the Wipro team because it is the company, this company is appearing to be totally ethical. And, whatever I have seen is, the waste program or any program, this kind of program is giving high growth to the, the employees. And, other things, what I have noticed is Wipro is doing, fairly good in every quarter, and it is increasing. The last time the revenue was generated this much, this quarter they have generated this much revenue. So if you give this kind of information, they will understand, okay, literally this guy has done some research about the company. And you can say about, you can say some benefits about your program, the program you are going to join, right? So why you want to join this program? So you can say that, what are the plus points of those programs, why you want to join. So what are the plus points, what is the benefits you see, what kind of learning you have. And you can say that, I have seen people, who has done this one and they have done remarkably good into the IT industry. So I also want to follow that path, and which something is already there, which has been, benchmark is set, then why should not we follow? And with respect to the company's growth, and what I have noticed that every employee is also growing on top of it. So this is this would be a very good opportunity if I get a chance to, work with Wipro team. So this kind of information, if you do little research about the company and the program you are going to join, just read it, then it will help you answering few questions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So these three points you must remember. Okay, basic knowledge, resume, and little research about the company. These are the first thing. So if you have any question, ask me here.
No, sir. Till now it's clear.
Okay. Now, take this term selling ability, right?
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Interviewer will ask you, hey, why should we hire you? Why not others? So you have to be ready with your, potential, with your strong points, with your strength, to tell everything about it, because you have to sell yourself, right? You are going to sell yourself into this market. So you have to tell, okay, say for example, if I go to your shop and there is a new product coming, mixture is coming, so you will tell me, right, this is very good mixture, sir, people are really liking it. If they have given some different flavor in it, you must try once. That kind of thing. If you say, so what I will get impressed, at least I will get impressed. Okay, let me try. If he is telling, then let me try once. So the same way interviewer mind also work, that you need to have some selling ability. You have to sell yourself. You have to sell yourself. Okay. How will you sell yourself? That you have to tell that, this is my strength. So if they are flat question, why should we hire you? So you have to say, I think I will be the best suit for this company, because I have seen and I have studied about this company. That company also, takes its employee, towards growth. And I always, tend to make something new, innovative in my projects also, and in my daily life also. So how will I sell myself is, you have to, what is your strength? You are a fast learner. You have to say, I'm a fast learner. If I go to this environment, I know that I will be able to learn very fast. And moreover, I can implement things very faster. I can learn fast. I can implement those things faster. That is another, strong point I have. So to prove that, to justify your statement, you have to take some example. You have to take some example from your real life. Then you have to take this opportunity to explain, how did you learn something very fast and implement it in your life, or some kind of examples. For let me tell you one example. Like you can say that when we were studying in 4th semester or 6th semester, there was a subject which was some subject, compiler design. It was very tough. Or architecture, it was very tough to understand. None of the students from our group, except 5 or 6, were able to understand that completely. And every 3 months we had to take examination, and it was important for everybody to pass. The first month we definitely had problem understanding those concepts, but considering that fact, I set some goals that I have to learn architecture well, and that computer architecture well, and I have set some goals. Okay, this is the way I have to study, because that was the only subject I was feeling that it is tough for me. And I went ahead and spent some more time with some planning, and at the end of the first quarter, I was able to clear out examination without any problem, but I secured just the pass marks. At the initial phase, I was thinking that I will not be able to pass that subject, but I concentrated well, I planned, I executed my plan, and I secured just the pass marks in the internal examination. Later on, when the final semester examination happened, I continued with the same plan, and by when the real semester examination happened, I secured 45 out of 50. So that explains to me, and I am also very confident that I can do it. My consistency is my strength, my fast learning capacity is my strength, my implementation power is my strength. These three things I did, I what I have explained, that with the computer architecture paper, how at the initial of at the initial stage of the semester it was appearing so tough, but I made it little okay for me by the end of the trimester. But by end of the semester, I made it very easy for me, and I really secured 80% of marks or so in computer architecture paper. This was one of the examples. Okay, so you can say something like this, so that interviewer will see that okay, he is consistently doing thing to achieve some goal. So that will be your best selling capability, what you can project before the interviewer. Okay, you got it. You have to find some example from your life, or you can very well go ahead and say that my dad runs a shop, which is a grocery shop. He's a retailer, and there was a challenge where business was going down. There was a challenge for me to support my dad along with the studies. So what I did is I planned everything, and I learned how to deal with the customers, and how I can deal with that situation to help my dad to grow his business, to support him into this business, and at the same time my studies should not be impacted. So I planned, I took suggestion from people, and I did it. Nowadays, now I spend time with my dad also, and his business is totally flourishing. His business is going well, and that I learned in no time. I learned all these techniques to handle customer, to handle things, to understand these stuffs for marketing and everything. I understood very fast, and I implemented, and I helped my dad to run his business also. So this also explains to me that okay, you are fast learner, and you can apply your logic anywhere. If some chances are given in any project work also, you will be able to apply your skills logic there, and you can move on. That is how the impact comes to me as an interviewer, if you explain all these things. So don't stop yourself when interview is happening. That is the chance given to you that you speak interviews. If interviewer is good, liking your talks, then interview may go for 45 minutes. If they are not liking, that will be end up in 5 to 10 minutes. So if your interview is going long, then you think that he is liking your answers, he's liking to listen more from you actually. So you should not stop yourself. For everything you should give some explanation. If you are telling that I have good selling ability, what selling ability you have. So before he asks any question, you have to be ready to elaborate. You should be ready to elaborate that. You got it, right? You got my point, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So for example, if somebody is asking why should we hire you? What is your strength? All these kind of questions, right? Answer would be the same actually. Whatever I explained that to you, answer would be that kind of answer. Elaborative answer, which will take 2-3 minutes time to explain. Okay, so that way you have to explain. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, so if you have any question here, you ask me.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm clear.
No. So let me move
Yes, sir.
next. Okay, so next is, this is very important point everyone has to remember, that there is a very thin line between, these two things, being confident or being arrogant. How interviewers, feel that, you are confident or you are little arrogant. How? See, if you have to be a good listener. Actually, when somebody is talking, you should listen well. The first point you see here, I'm
Yes,
talking
sir.
about, how, if I'm taking your interview, if I am asking some questions, what are the abilities in you which will make me feel that, okay, this person is confident and calm. He is not arrogant. Like here, listen well. You have to listen well. If somebody is talking, until he comes to complete stop, you should not start speaking. Okay, you listen well and understand well. The chance will be given to you to talk. So it is better, whenever somebody is talking, you listen well. Okay, this is very key factor. Okay, so people
Okay,
will
sir.
feel,
Okay,
okay,
sir.
he is listening well. Pause. Pause means, say for example, you are asking some question, you are being asked some question, some interviewer has asked you a question and you are explaining, to him. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
that time you have to take some pause if you need it. Okay, say for example, you are explaining about the scenario, how did you learn handling the customer, so that you are not going to tell in one breath, right? You have to take pause,
Yes.
at least, at logical steps you have to take some pause. Okay, once I had this challenge, I was keep on thinking, how to solve this problem without impacting my studies, how I can do that, how I can support my dad. After analyzing all this fact, after getting some help from others, suggestions from others, I came to one conclusion, and this is what I did. So just a pause, then what you did, you have to explain in that way. So these are the points you have to remember. Sometimes you have to take intentional pause. Okay, intentional pause means, sometimes if you are explaining and he is also listening to you, but you have to make sure that whatever you are explaining, he is understanding. It is not, he is listening as a story and he will forget. You have to explain something to somebody so that he remembers every time. Okay, today I met a guy, Surya, he was explaining fantastic, man. I cannot explain that to you. If he is telling to his colleague, then you are good. So that you have to take some intentional pause also while explaining, to observe that he is listening to you. But that one you have to do very tactfully. I will teach you some techniques, how to, take intentional pause and how to take pause, all these things I will tell you with examples.
Okay.
And then speak. When you speak, you don't bother about, how much time it will take. You should not finish anything in 10 seconds. You should not finish anything in 10 seconds. You have given minutes. You have been given lots of minutes to explain everything, whatever you want. Interview is not something about asking some technical questions and okay, you go. No, interview is something to evaluate the entire top to bottom, your confidence, your attitude, everything. A complete evaluation of you, any candidate, right? So that is interview.
Yes, sir.
So you should not be in hurry to answer any question. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now see these, if you follow these kind of steps, and I will tell you how to follow, this will make sure that you are confident person and calm person. But if you do any of this, right, so you will be considered as an arrogant if you are cutting in middle, if you are in a hurry to express. So for example, you are sitting in the interview and interviewer is asking a very simple question. Hey, what is data structure? Do you know about data structure? And what are the characteristics of? Then if that question is known to you and you are very confident of answering, so sometimes what happens, the candidates, they will start answering before he ends his question, before he ends talking. And candidate is so confident about this one data structure, I know, so he will start answering. Okay, sir, I will tell you that, this. So that is not good. If you know the data structure, about data structure, the question he is asking, you should be relaxed, calm. Once he finishes his question, then you start answering. Okay, you should not cut your interviewer in middle if he is talking something, and you should not be in hurry to express anything. You got it?
Yes.
You got this point? Okay.
Okay, sir, I got it.
So any questions, Surya, on this one?
No, sir, no, sir, I'm clear about it.
Okay. So I think, in Zoom, there are only 5 minutes remaining. So let me stop here and you
only
think
40
about
minutes
it.
are allotted, sir.
Uh-huh.
In Zoom, only 40 minutes are allotted for a meeting.
Yeah, 40 minutes only.
Oh.
So
Absolutely.
I will stop here. I hope you have taken some notes or not.
Yeah, sir.
You have taken some notes. So think about it.
I recorded.
Oh, you have recorded. Okay. So you think about it, go through it, think about it, and then we will discuss more, with other concepts tomorrow. And you just go through whatever I have told today. Only 2 slides, right? 1 or 2 slides.
Yes, sir.
So you just go through that each and every word and try to practice. Say, for example, I told you about explaining about your capabilities, how will you sell yourself? So all these things, just try to build some, case studies which you have to tell your interviewer. And it should not appear that you are making a story and telling. I will listen from you that, how will you answer all these questions, whatever we discussed today, how you are going to answer. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, when I meet you in person, I will, ask you those questions and you have to answer. So prepare well. If you need to write it down in paper. Some of the phrases you need to write it down and you need to remember before going to the interview. You have to tell all these things, whatever the circumstances are. If they're asking why should we hire you, then I have to explain all these things. Whatever the condition, I don't know if they hire or if they don't hire, but I will explain all these things with all these, my capabilities. At least I will not leave that opportunity to tell my interviewer how good I am in those areas. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you prepare well. Tomorrow we are going to discuss more about it. Just these 2 slides, whatever you have recorded. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, Surya, just prepare well.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow again we will have some discussion.
I'll meet you.
Okay?
Okay, sir. See
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, sir.